and welcome to today's video, and today I'm talking about how I've got like my blended root hair and how I've done it at home. And I've like kept all of the kind of colours and things for reference, and I thought I'd just talk you through how I did it. I used to basically have like all over platinum blonde hair, and I've just decided that, you know, that was just a little bit too much for me. I felt like it really washed me out, and I really like the trend of kind of having like faux roots. Not that long ago I showed you how I actually did like DIY highlights in my hair, and temporarily I had been kind of filling in where I'd have root growth. I would kind of pick out bits of hair and highlight them just to make the actual grow out period slightly more diffused. But I then decided that that still looked quite blocky, and I felt like there was definitely like a colour contrast where there wasn't a blend of colours and it kind of blended out. I just felt like it was very, like, it just didn't look very good in my opinion. So I decided to actually put in fake roots, and I just feel like it's a lot more blended now. Like, by all means it's not like perfect, but I definitely really love it. Considering I did it myself at home, I just feel like it's worth telling you guys how I did it, because I'm sure there's so many other people that are in a similar position where if you do colour your hair at home, not everyone can afford to go to a hairdresser, and to find ways to do it yourself, it's always great if you're trying to save a little bit of money. So I'm going to talk you through the colours that I used and the technique that I used today. So if you enjoy this style of video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know down below if you give it a try yourself, and let's get straight onto it. So first of all, I decided to choose two different colours that I would need to actually do this process on my hair, and I ordered the colours from Superdrug. I got their own make of hair dye. I don't feel like it matters which type you get, especially when you're adding darker colours. I think when you're then bleaching your hair and making it lighter, that's when you have to be very careful about what ingredients were in it. But for me, I wasn't too sure if this technique was even going to work. I started on the cheaper end of hair dyes, and then I know that if I like this technique or I want to do more to it, then I can add more expensive ones if I desire to do so. But for me, I just decided to because I knew I had to get two different ones, I just started at the cheaper end of it, and I've had really good experiences with Superdrug hair dyes anyway, so that's definitely the ones I would recommend and the ones that I used. So the two colours that I got was 6 natural light brown, and I also got the colour 8 natural medium blonde. And this is really important to get two different colours because you really want it to blend out, and that's how you prevent it looking very kind of contrasty. And especially when you have such light blonde hair like I do, I really wanted that kind of diffused look to my roots. So I decided to pick up two colours, and I would definitely recommend you guys do so. That's why I would say if you think it's going to be a little bit more expensive, go with the cheaper hair dyes but get the two colours over getting something more expensive but only getting one, because this is how I really got it to kind of blend out effortlessly. So the technique that I started off with is that obviously 6 was the darkest one and 8 was the slightly lighter one. And what I started to do is I actually mixed them both in different kind of like bowls, just so that I had the different colours available. And I started off with the darkest colour, and I sectioned my hair and I literally just applied it to the top of the roots. So if I lift up, say like a section here, to say I was doing this now, I would literally just apply it to the root. Where I had a little bit of root regrowth already, that was a bit of a guideline, so I kind of did it only maybe like an inch, and then I would flip it over. I then picked up the next section, to say it was this one. I then kind of did about an inch worth there, twist it over, and did it until my whole head was covered. What I found really helpful was having a mirror in front of me and a mirror behind me, so I could actually see what I was doing in the back. I feel like the back of my hair looks a little bit more messier, but I still kind of tied it up. I worked like downwards going up, and then I could kind of clip my hair back and whatever, and I just found that technique really helped me. But you don't need to apply a lot of the dark one, and that's really, really important. Just really saturate the bottom of the section where it's closest to your scalp, but just make sure your whole head is covered with about an inch worth of the dark colour. So obviously depending on your original shade, you know, the colours will differ, but if you have platinum blonde hair like me and looking to get this kind of faux root effect, the colours I went for were 6 and 8. So once I did that technique, I then started all over again with the slightly lighter colour, and then where I had already done it, I then kind of began to overlap slightly and drag it down a little bit further. So as you can see probably here, it's darker and then it fades out into the blonde colour. So, you know, it will depend on your length of hair and everything like that. So please don't just use my technique. Consider how you'd like it to look, but you can basically paint it on how you like. So you don't have to saturate it all to a certain point. I found that actually just kind of going down slightly in random lines also helped me get more of a diffused look, but it really is up to you on what you're looking to achieve. So I then used that slightly lighter colour all over my hair, making sure I tried to keep it as even as I possibly could. And once you had then painted it all on, and you know, I don't then use a brush at this early stage, I just made sure that as if I was actually touching up root regrowth, I just concentrated on adding the colour first of all, and I did that all around, including the back. For the back of the hair, if you're unsure about being able to do it yourself, like I've done this kind of differently before on myself and I'm okay with it and I'm quite confident, but if you're not, make sure you ask a friend or family member to help you out. I'm sure they'll be happy to, and it does normally help when you have someone else helping you out, but you know, I was kind of okay and it worked out fine, so don't feel like you have to either. Once both of the colours were added on, you know, obviously where it goes darker and then it's slightly lighter, I then got a brush. It doesn't really matter what type of brush, but I just used one that I don't mind kind of ruining a little bit. But you want to consider how spread apart the actual bristles are. So something like a tangle teaser, for example, would be perfect to get an all over even blend. So what I started off with is from the front, because obviously this is normally how people see my hair. I started off with the top and I just brushed it down. Don't brush it all the way down, because if, for example, there is like a blob of colour that then only picks up at the bottom, you're going to get a random streak and that's not going to look good. I kind of based it on around my shoulder length and I brushed it down until I got there, took it out and did the same. And that's going to help the dark colour blend into the slightly lighter colour and the lighter colour blend into your original hair colour. And it's that technique that makes it look so professional and kind of like you've got it done at a salon, whilst actually it's only cost you the price of 2 different hair dyes. And the ones I got from Superdrug were 2 for £7 as well, so super affordable. So I did that all over my hair, and you know, you really would just want to brush it out and just keep doing so. When I had the mirror on the back, I made sure that everything was even. You can see when darker colour has been brushed down into your original hair colour, if there is any unevenness. So it's a great guideline to actually guide you on how much further you have to maybe pull it down in a certain area. But I didn't find it difficult and I didn't find that there was any unevenness. And then once I then did that, you want to keep an eye on it in the mirror, because I was a little bit unsure on how the colours were going to end up, because when you're applying it to such light hair like mine, it can really like show up intensely, if not more intense than it looks in the box. So you do just want to be mindful of that. I just kept an eye on it in the mirror. I didn't need to wrap it up, because if I then wrapped up my hair, then I might have got the colour on the bottom end. So I just left it as it was as soon as I brushed it out, and I was happy. And I ended up leaving it on my hair for about 20 minutes until I washed it out. Once washed out, I then proceeded to wash my hair with shampoo, and then you get a bottle of conditioner with these hair colours as well. I then applied the conditioner that came in the box of hair dyes to my hair, and that just helped to add in any moisture that my hair may have lost during the process, but it wasn't at all damaging because it just deposited colour. It didn't lighten or anything like that. So I just found that it worked really well for me. It was super easy, and it, like, from start to end, it took about 40 minutes, which is much quicker than in a salon. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the results. Obviously, I feel like it will look different on other people depending on what colours you ended up going for, but 6 and 8 were a really great colour choice for me and my hair. It is slightly warm toned, and but this, you know, naturally with hair colour, it will begin to fade ever so slightly when you do continue to wash it, and I feel like after that it will actually match my natural root. So I'm going to just proceed to let it kind of grow out a little bit. I'm over bleaching my hair. I just feel like, you know, my hair just looks so damaged, and I just want to give it a bit of a break. So by adding these fake roots into your hair, it just, you know, it's a low maintenance way of still keeping the blonde, but it still looks stylized. It's not like when my roots were growing through, it just looks so kind of contrasty. So this is a great way to just diffuse that and make it look a lot more natural, and it also makes it look like you want it to look like that, which doesn't always look the case if you just let your roots grow out. So I'm going to go on a bit of a bleach detox, let my hair just fully restore, and make sure that after I did this, a couple of nights after, I did actually then use coconut oil on my hair and let it sit on there for half an hour, and I just felt like my hair just looked as good as new. So I hope that this video has helped anyone deciding to do that. If you have any questions or anything like that, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them, and let me know how it goes for you if you're brave enough to do it. Obviously, I am not a professional and the results are not always guaranteed, but I found it so easy, and I think if you're considering doing it, if you're happy with taking a bit of a risk, I don't think you can go too wrong. You know, I managed to do it and I'm really happy with the results, so I'm sure you will be too. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!